I understand that there will have to be some sort of significant event of depopulation and or unification. I go to the Bible verse where it says, my people are destroyed for their lack of knowledge. So there has to come a point where your faith is moving. It has to move because energy cannot stay stagnant. So there are no nations. There is only humanity, which we know there's not only humanity. This is day 6 in Genesis, where the man or the beast is becoming human or with God consciousness of understanding the I am, of that it's all connected, and that there's only one source of all and you are a part of it. And that concept is based on the planets and then the native people, or I don't even use the word people, the native beings of the land. Okay, there's no property. That's fake. Fake. Literally is telling you it's a part of a fake game, a board game in which you didn't even know you were playing. So no, there's only land, and it can be occupied. It can be utilized. It can be all sorts of things, but it can't be owned. It can be titled to. On your honor system type thing where, hey, this is my acre over here and I'm going to build my house. When you go over there, I'll go over here. We're good. Cool. So that's kind of the title situation. And so there's only humanity. Okay. We have, conscious humans, and then we have humans who are still unconsciously roaming the planet, and so we call them man. So this is the end of the 6th day going into the 7th day where that is completed, and this way we come to our 7th day of rest where we get to enjoy and participate in what it is we created together, or God created, if you still cannot possibly think that you are a part of God. But God created 6,000 years. 6,000 years because one day to God is 1,000. 2 Peter 3:8. So if we don't come to understand that right soon, there will be no nations because there will be no humanities. So if you go into the quantum multiverse theory versus universe, right? Having one universe, how can there be a multiverse? How there can be multiple points of outcomes. And there's movies that try to explain this, right? Like Timeline A, Timeline B. If you watch Everything Everywhere All at Once, they did a pretty good job with that. But you can see how it can kind of go a little haywire. But listen, whatever's possible will be. Ecclesiastes. We all know what it's going to take. What do we do? How do we do it? Is humanity as a species intelligent enough to be able to figure it out? How are we going to represent humanity within a galactic society? Is it going to be one of slavery? Is it going to be one of freedom? Is it going to be one of self-government? Or is it going to be one of no government, where we are going to just freaking wake the hell up and have self-responsibility and hold each other accountable? And that's that. So there's lots of different ways, possibilities, and probabilities as far as what that's going to look like, how it's going to look, when these things are going to continue to kind of take shape into manifestation. And at the end of the day, how do we make that change at the executing level, from an energetic level? Like, everything is energy. So if we can all just act with our day-to-day, minute by minute, acting in good conscience, like, that is ultimately going to weave its way through, ripple its way through all the way to figuring out how humanity can move forward with the least amount of destruction. Now, Mother Earth is, she's doing her thing too. So there's going to be destruction, there has to be, because that's a part of the song of the universe, right? One song, that's a part of the song. There has to be these dips and ups and downs, and there needs to be these systems and cycles for it to be harmonious, right? And so how do we get to a place of harmony, and unity, and all of these through frequency vibration? We cannot unify under lies. We cannot pretend that our natural right to be is being suppressed, right? That's the balance, right, between that, the matter, the clay, the matter, the mother, the matrix, the clay, right, and then the mind, the technology, right, the creator, the maker, the coder, the intelligence, the divine. There has to be balance. So how do we get that balance, right? Here are the rules, and if we don't play by the rules, that is going to ripple. That energy will ripple through, and there will be consequences. And those consequences are not just personally or individually or within our families or congregations, right, or countries, but those consequences are globally, universally. So going back to the extraterrestrials as well, like, they cannot intervene in any which way, shape, or form, because we must come to consciousness with our free will. If not, if you don't come to consciousness with your free will, and one such goes into consciousness shock, they go literally lose their minds. It creates a ripple, like a butterfly effect, that affects too much of the quantum time space continuum. So when there's nuclear warfare, that's the only way in which they will intervene. But here we are. We are at humanity's point of existence, right? We're event horizon, if you will, where we are trying to figure it out. So how messy that's going to look, and a lot of logistics are still being worked out in the quantum, like, as we speak. Does humanity have the courage? Does humanity have the willpower? Without the willpower, we cannot move on. We have not earned a position within Galactus.